Alrighty, hey there everyone. We are back yet again with some more hardcore Minecraft. Last time I completely forgot what we did. It's been a little bit. I have no clue what we ended up doing. I know we replanted part of the forest. I'm trying to think what else we had done. Looks like we got some extra lighting. I think we just cleaned up our inventory mainly. That was a big one. Just kind of doing some general cleaning, and we need glass because I want to switch this elevator out. Right, that's what I want to do. But yeah, today it's more the same, right? You know, we've still got more stuff to do, and I do want to eventually start building some bigger farms again. Wow, that is a serious lag spike. Holy crap, man. Good lord, that was a big one. We'll have to probably do something about the storage system, but yeah, hello Bean. But yep, I have no clue what I want to do today, other than the fact that maybe I want to build a farm. Or at least start working on one. I don't know, I gotta do something. But I'll figure it out. Kinda just want to take it easy today. Um, yeah, we gotta sort this out eventually. And I also, it's a 50-50 that I replace all of these chests with like barrels. But that, I don't know. That one seems like that would be kind of annoying, but not impossible. But yeah, we should probably look into doing that. But yeah, I think you know what? I think I will. I think we're gonna go for it. I think we're gonna replace all the chests with barrels just for ease of use. Hopefully that'll help with my frames a little bit more. Additionally, hopefully the flying machines are still running and they're not stuck in the middle of nowhere. They certainly look like they're stuck in the middle of nowhere. Huh, well, that's no good. Yep, not seeing them at either end. Alright. Hell, it's not here at all. What? Am I stupid? Am I blind? There's no flying machine here. Yeah, it's over here, that's why. Okay, so it is at the proper dock. Okay. Man, I am out of it today, apparently. How odd. Huh, well, I want to make sure that these are still running as they should be. Yeah, and that one's there too. Okay, that was weird. Anyways, we're gonna just... Ooh. Oh, damn, we might be out of space, more or less. We should do something about... Oh, we are... Ooh, we are definitely out of space. Okay. Well, good thing it is time for us to do something about that. Why don't we go ahead and put that down? And we'll get a couple extra shulker boxes. We'll restock a little bit later, but right this second, let's just get all this put in place and see what we can do. Crack all these out the plank, shouldn't be too bad. See what we can go ahead and get. There we go. Oh, I wish you can hold spacebar, but then you have to like tap Q every time, so it gets a little annoying. Tough. Oh, alright, let's see what we got. Good Lord Almighty. That is a hell of a lot. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, barrels. That's what we gotta make. I think it's Shouldn't be too bad to do, but it is going to be a little annoying. It's like 6 stacks of planks, 2 stacks of slabs. Makes a stack of barrels. Yep. Alright. And I think you can already see how this is going to take a little while to craft all this stuff up. But, you know, once we do, it'll be worth it, so. But yeah, general life news, because it's been a little bit. Let me see here. Last time I streamed was August 10th, which is cool. That was the second to last day. I ended up leaving my job on Tuesday. I just legitimately could not do it anymore. It wasn't going to work out long term, and I had no fulfillment with it at all. So I'm like, alright, I forgot. I'm an adult now. I could just not do that. So I did. So that's cool. I've already got an interview at another place lined up for Monday, so I'm sure that'll go well. I don't really have any concerns there, honestly. I guess the only big concern is just salary, unfortunately. I'm really hoping I can clear 70,000 at least. Preferably, my main goal right now is 80,000, but 70 is enough to be like I can comfortably make the jump and things won't really be too bad. But yeah, it's a very nice time to be able to do literally anything else, and it's nice being out of that environment, you know? I didn't mind anybody that I worked with, I just couldn't do the actual work itself anymore, unfortunately. It's just a matter of how it is, right? I mean, try as I might, it just did not click with me, and it really messed me up mentally, unfortunately, with a lot of work, and I just couldn't do it no more, so I didn't. And I think it's gonna pan out to really be worth it. Really looking forward to seeing what comes of all this new stuff that's gonna be happening, but I think that means though I am gonna have to move back to my old city, unfortunately, which, less than ideal, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world, but it is what it is. But I get another chance to just kind of start over and go do something better, you know? I finally figured out a little bit more properly what I actually want to do, like long-term career-wise, and that is data engineering. It kind of makes sense too with what I was already doing before. I was focusing too heavily on data analysis, and then when I started doing more data engineering related things, like actually building out and planning a bunch of database structures and actually having to make a couple of different things. That's the big thing is making things, right? Once I started really getting into that, then I actually did have a lot more enjoyment and fulfillment out of it. And I found out I was actually really good at it, and I like doing it. So that's kind of where I'm at with all of it, unfortunately. Is I just want to be able to make things because it's fun and it's very fulfilling. And it's something that actively makes something else better for somebody else, you know? So, and there's a lot of money in it, because not everybody can do it and all that kind of good stuff, but I've already got a decent chunk of experience with it through things like Excel and like my data analytics certificate that I have from my university. So it's not like I'm completely new and I haven't done anything related to it before or nothing. It's just I don't have as official of like a background as I would like. I'm obviously still working on that because you know it's new. But once I uh, once I can get good with that, then things will be pretty much smooth sailing, which will be very nice. I'm looking forward to a lot. But yeah, I've got a new opportunity as a business analyst, so it actually moves me away from finance, which is even better. Because, yeah, I'm still capable of doing finance, but I don't give a shit about finance, frankly. I only did it because it was a stable job, and that's all I could think of at the time when I was in college. So that's what it was. And I do not like that decision every passing day, especially now that I know what I want. But again, you don't get to know what you want when you're that young, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of how it is. I don't, I guess I don't necessarily regret it because of the people I've met through it and all that kind of stuff. And, just the fact that, like, you get more out of life when you get the opportunity to learn more from different sources, right? Only learning one type of thing and only doing that one thing forever can't be good for you long term, especially if you're trying to grow and change as a person and just looking for more opportunity, right? So I don't mind doing what I did, but I still, uh, I still just want to keep going, right, and doing more and more things, better things. So, but yeah, it's a big change for me. As the first job I've personally left. The other one I was let go because they decided they wanted to be butthead. So, which it happens. Don't necessarily hold it against them. It's been over a year and a half by now, I think. So it's been a long enough time. But I don't know. It's just we'll kind of see how things pan out. Hopefully things will go better here. Lesson learned though, I will be continuing to search for a better job while I'm working uh, instead of just being like, oh, things are good for now, and like, yeah, they are good for now, but it's again not like long term, Especially if I really want to try and get a remote job again, that'll take a long, long time at the rate that I'm going. So, but it'll be worth it, It all pans out eventually, and that will be very nice if and when it does. So yeah, I just got to hang in there for another couple weeks. I think my last paycheck is next Friday coming up, or I guess this Friday now, technically, because now it's Saturday. But yeah, I get my last paycheck then, and then I should have another job hopefully by the end of the month is what I'm aiming for. So that'll be nice. We'll see what actually ends up happening there, but I think it'll be just fine. But I think it'll be work I'm actually like better suited for, and again, I have more of an interest for. But it'll be working with my former boss again, except now at a different company instead of the one that him and I both used to work at. So it's a bit new, but I'm sure it'll be okay. But I just remember like thinking about, I was so on the fence about leaving for such a long time, and it just was like, I don't know, it just, I quit going into work basically because I just could not even bring myself to get up out of bed. I just didn't care, I just couldn't enjoy actually going out and doing anything with that job anymore. And liked a lot of the people I worked with, didn't have really any issues with anybody, but I just didn't enjoy the work and I couldn't really see myself doing it anymore. And all I kept hearing was that, it gets easier with that job, but it didn't. So it's like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I want to go try and do something else somewhere else. I found what I enjoy out of that job. I found what made me happy, and it was what they had hired me for, but it's not what I was allowed to do because I had to specifically do what was in my job description because that's what they hired me for. And it's like I can't just do that because I really do not enjoy it. It's not very fulfilling to me, and it doesn't make me particularly happy. We're gonna go down to like 20 and 20 here because honestly, I don't really know why I've kept my simulation at 20. I think I kept it at 20 for like some of the farm animals, but we're not gonna worry about that at the moment. But yeah, I guess the big thing for me was just taking that kind of jump, right? Like that kind of leap of faith is something I've never really had to do before, and it's definitely been interesting to just kind of go for all this stuff, and it was exciting. But again, I don't really regret doing what I did. I don't regret my time there or nothing. It's just I gotta do something that's better for me long term that I really enjoy, and especially if I want to get away from finance and accounting. That's the big thing is accounting. I fucking hate accounting. It sucks. I just do not give a shit. I know the basics. I don't care about them. They fucking suck. Boring as hell. There's no fun to be had. There's plenty of room for automation, sure, but and that means you'd have to do accounting work. And I would rather build out. I would rather work with an accountant that knows their accounting system very well and help them understand what their process is and help work with them to automate it, than be like, yeah, I just want to do this whole thing by myself, and then that's just kind of it. Because then that means again I have to do accounting. I can't do it. I don't like it. It just does not click for me. It never clicked for me. In fact, that's why I have a finance degree, not an accounting degree, because I hated that fucking much. So I was like, all right, well, I don't want to do this. So I chose not to do it, and it was very easy. But yeah, just not cool stuff in general with accounting. Nobody likes it, and I don't even pay a lot to be an accountant. Like wages stagnate super duper hard unless you're like the top of the senior kind of deal, or you've got like a CPA license or things like that. And at that point, like, why not just go get a master's degree in something actually useful or interesting? Supposed to be like a safe, boring career. And yeah, it's a safe, boring career if you don't plan on having like kids or literally enjoying life in any way, shape, or form. Sure, you could be an accountant and then do fuck all with anything because you can't afford anything. So just very cool in general. 0 out of 10 profession, would not recommend it unless you can integrate it directly with another field, especially a more technical field, so that way you have some excuse to not do accounting. So you could be like, oh, I'm automating like accounting systems, and to do that, you have to have some baseline level understanding of accounting, but it wouldn't be your whole career is just accounting. So yeah, not cool, not a fan. And I wish I would have stuck out computer science, but honestly, I'm going back for it in the next couple of years anyways, and again, things work out for a reason, you know. For what it's worth, I did get a lot of job experience that I probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise had I just done uh, computer science, and that helps me stand out a little bit more. So, like, by the time I do actually get back into computer science in a couple of years, I should have plenty of financial business experience and then hopefully some more data experience by then, too. And then I can really do some cool stuff. At least that's the dream for right now. But we'll see if that actually pans out. I certainly hope it does. But I'm 23, right? Like if there's any one time that I have to be a little less responsible with not like having a job formally lined up and just kind of doing what makes me happy versus what's the most like optimal way to make a bajillion dollars or whatever, it would be right now, right? Because I'm young and I can afford to do relatively not smart things, right? I mean, this still isn't a bad idea long term to make this kind of change, but the way I went about it probably wasn't the best way to do it. But I'm 23. I don't have to give a shit right now. And that's nice. You don't get to do that forever. And life's not worth living like that. It's just not, unfortunately. I've only tried to do things the correct way for so much of my life that at some point you just gotta, unfortunately, do something that's kind of a dick move and just, hey, that's just kind of how it is that day. And not that you should try to be a dick every single day, but at some point you have to just do exclusively what makes you happy, others be damned. Again, that should never be the goal in life, to just only make yourself happy and have no regard for others. Absolutely not. But for something like this, right, like I struggled for this for months. Like I really did sit there, I tried to learn, I just tried to get help when I could. I didn't get as much as I should have because I didn't ask as much as I should have, but I did still try and I stuck it out. I could have quit a lot earlier and I didn't, and I did try to stick it out and at least do what I could when I couldn't do other things, right? But I stuck it out and I gave it that fair try and I just couldn't do it. And I just couldn't envision myself doing it anymore. So, I didn't. And it was very freeing, to be able to do that. And I don't necessarily plan on ever doing that again. If I ever do, it would again be now when I'm like still young and I still have an opportunity to like be young, right, and do stupid shit like that. But for the most part, I think that was a one-time thing. I don't want to just walk out on everything as soon as things get tough, and again, that's why I stuck out there as long as I did. But at some point, you just have to know when to quit, which is a good skill in and of itself too, by the way. There's no shame in quitting certain things as long as it's not your first option, but you gotta know when to quit sometimes, you know? So I'm glad I actually figured that one out in a good time before I ended up doing anything too drastic, but I got into some very bad spots mentally these past couple months, and it got very bad, especially back in June and July, so I just had to do something different, you know? But I'm through it. Things are gonna get better. Again, that interview on Monday, I'm like pretty freaking confident I'm gonna get this job. I'm not gonna be walking in there acting like, oh yeah, the job's definitely mine because like, there's a very fine line between being confident and being cocky, right? But I know I'm capable of doing the work that they want, and I know I'm very capable of doing a good job with it, especially for that kind of forward thinking and planning. And, my former boss in my old company is vice president there as well. So if there's any one person that can personally vet that I can do what I say I can do, it's going to be him. So I don't really have too much to worry about when it comes to like references, which is nice. That's a huge deal. And again, I do have the raw experience that they're looking for, so it should be good. The only tough part is going to be salary and like vacation talk. Can't call it vacation because bringing up a vacation during an interview would be kind of a bad idea. But I'm not going to be here like 2 weeks in September, and I already spent all the money on it, and I really want to go because I already spent all the money on it. So I'm going on that trip, whether they think I should or not. It's not negotiable. That's just how it is. And it will be very interesting to see what they say. I know other people have done that in the past where they're like, hey, I want to be on board, but I do have a pre existing obligation, right, that I have to attend these 2 weeks. And they're like, okay, no problem. Just work what you can and then go enjoy your 2 weeks. We'll see you when you get back, kind of deal. Like, that is a thing that people do. And that's something that I got to try and do because, again, I'm not. I've already put $2,000 into it. The trip alone was probably about 1,300 bucks, and then I think the plane ticket was another $500 or something. It was a lot of. It was a lot of cash. It was about 1,300, 1,500 total between the plane ticket, the room, and also just paying for the actual event itself. So again, just I want to go out and enjoy life. I've been looking forward to this trip since like last year. At this point, I didn't even think I'd get to make it this far, and then I did. So I want to actually enjoy all the saving I ended up doing and all the extra hard work that I ended up doing to be able to afford anything. And I'm gonna do it whether they give a shit or not. That's just how it is. So, yep. But now, in all honesty, I don't think there'll be much of an issue. I'm not particularly worried about it. But that has yet to be seen. You know what else is yet to be seen? Getting rid of every one of these. This is gonna be quite the ordeal here. So right now what the plan is to basically go out and we're gonna do this in chunks, right? Um, go ahead and get all this stuff broken apart. We're at least gonna be able to reclaim all of the item frames, which will be quite nice. However, we are going to have to figure out what we want to do for the partition blocks, which now can be solid blocks, so we'll be able to keep things separate pretty well. So that'll be good, but I'm thinking here too, what we're going to want to do, just to keep it simple, we're going to have it inset in the wall just a little bit. Could also let us do some nice things with slabs or whatever, but yeah, we're basically just going to have it like this. And it should be pretty easy. We almost definitely overdid it on barrels. That was only half a... Yeah, we definitely made way too many barrels. Like 2 shulker boxes worth. That should have been 1 tops, not 2. Whoops. Well, that's okay. We're not gonna worry too much about that. It's not worth worrying about after all. Still need to get that glass for that too, right? Yes. Okay. Uh, I've been a circle for that. I didn't need to. Right. Okay. Well, we are going to just keep it simple for right now and just have cobblestone partitioning because I said so. And again, that helps to kind of keep things separate out here. It's placed on down. Go. Lamp. Get all this put in place. Brick. Another brick stairs. Another brick fence. There we go. And yeah, with these being inset by a single block, might make things a little annoying, but shouldn't be too bad. Actually, yeah, it would make things significantly weirder. Hmm. And I mean, we could just have like this side go out more, and then that would instantly solve our problem, but I don't think that's the way I want to do this, so let's think about this here. Let's go ahead and just do one side here. Alright, let's just try and keep it simple. 2 red nether bricks. Oh, it had to have been inside the chest in like a non-shulker box capacity. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Alrighty, let's start with this. Alright, boom, red nether brick, boom, that goes in there. Oh, guess I had more nether bricks this whole time. Whoops. There we go. And then I guess we could put like glowstone or something here too, but yeah, I guess the annoying thing would be just determining what we want to do with a corner like this. We could do something like that, and again, it's not going to be cobblestone forever, but this is just to show what's happening with all this stuff. But yeah, could probably do glowstone. Oh, you know, this is where we could put some additional elevation, right? Because of how this works in. Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay, okay, I could see that. That's some good stuff right there. Yeah, I could see this working. Um, you know what? I've got a better idea. We're gonna take a screenshot of this. We're gonna pull it up to the side, and then I'm just going to tear all of this shit out, and then we will figure it out when we figure it out. Sounds good? I think it does. Alrighty. Might make a bit of a mess here though, but we'll be okay. There we go. Not have tossed the item frames out. There we go. There's lucky. Alright. Why am I holding control now? I think my brain's trying to default to just like bulk crafting, so I'm holding control while I'm doing stuff. Which is not the time for that. Shoot. Right. And this is where we start doing all this stuff. Get there. Sorry, this is taking so long and I'm so quiet, but you know, I'm just trying to concentrate a bit here. Let's see, another board. Yep. brick, soul soil, crimson nylium. Okay, polished basalt, nether quartz ore, boom. Okay, so with that, we are done with this whole little quarter. Not too bad so far. Let's go ahead and close that out. Alright. And, you know, for shits and giggles, let's go ahead and get some torches down. Put one there, there, and there, just to make sure that we've got adequate lighting. It should be good. Yeah, again, we can at least mine that up a little bit, but yeah, we will have to do some more with that in the near future. Could always just do backing on this, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. We'll just keep it simple with torches, you know? Alright. Oh, we can actually take all these with us up to the next side. Which, you know what? We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna put it here. And boom, there we go. Alright, and then this one should be very easy to remember too, since all of these are empty. In fact, we could do this one a bit more the old-fashioned way. As in, let's get ourselves a barrel. There we go. Alright, so now we can tear the rest of this out in peace, not have to think about it. There we go. Perfect. Go. Stuff. Alright, and then we're gonna have to do the same thing here. Right. Okay. Now we get ready to take another picture here. So again, got the exact order that we're looking for. Whoops, meant to do Windows Shift S and not actually take a real screenshot with F2. That's fine. Alright. Good. Think we're good. Alright. Go. Nice. Okay. Yeah, let's start with something maybe a little easier, not like gravel. So your rooted dirt. So we have dirt. Nope. Let's see. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Blue ice. Much easier. Okay. Blue ice goes there. Packed ice goes there. Grass there. Tinted glass can go up there. Dirt goes there. Smooth sandstone goes there. No block goes there. Horse dirt goes there. Psyllium. Snow. That's all there. Plant. I'm sure I had flint, didn't I? I did. Got some mud. Oh, hopefully, well, it's too soon for things to despawn. that, and then that. Okay, so we should finally be done with this whole little section. And if we have a whole like barrel of shulker boxes of items, again, we've gone too far. You know, we can have more bulk storage, but like we're not gonna have a whole barrel shulker of shards, right? It's not gonna happen. Flint, it's just not gonna happen. You know, a lot of these things not very likely to get that high. Now, something like dirt, on the other hand, yeah, okay, I can see that. Same deal with glass, packed ice, things of that nature. But then that's why we have like different bulk storage somewhere else, or we just don't give a shit, you know, one or the other. Uh, and you know, we'll figure it out, you know, when we gotta. We don't gotta for now, but some point we'll have to. But that's not for me to have to figure out right this second, you know. So I won't. Very simple, really, if you think about it. We're also just gonna say screw it. We're just gonna take all these chests and put them away in the other shulker box here. But that is half of the first floor redone. Again, this will be very, very helpful with keeping our frame rate in check. Or at least that's the idea. I don't know how much we really need item frames if we really get down to it, but I still would like item frames. I wish they were a little bit more efficient, but they aren't, so it is what it is. That being said, though, we have our next section we can go ahead and do. There, grab that. Hey, close that out. What we got now? Okie doke. Let's see what we can do. Can't believe it, it's already been nearly an hour. Oh, got that. Alright, and so it begins. So we got that. We have a lot of cobbled deep slate. Like, damn. Alright, there we go. Almost done. Miles. Miles did. Wait. Oh, weird. I'll have to reconsolidate these real quick. And tough bricks. There we go. Just be seeing things. Okay, well, anyways, deep slate stairs. There we go. Alright, we are making good progress. Let's go ahead and get ready for another screenshot. This one's quite large, so but this shouldn't really be too hard since it's pretty formulaic, so it should be quite easy. Let's do this in sections a little bit more. Go to like here, and then we'll line up. Alright. polished tough, polished tough stairs, granite stairs, tough, polished andesite. Alright, it's a good thing we did this in sections. This would have been kind of annoying otherwise. Again, doing good, making good steady progress until that's all you can ask for, you know? Stone stairs, stone. See, stone brick, regular stone brick, cobblestone slab, stone slab, cobblestone stairs, cobblestone walls, and smooth stone. Alright, nice. So we got another section done. Good. Good, good, good. Here we go. And make sure to keep the lighting pretty consistent throughout. Yeah, we've got some good block lighting. It goes down to 7, but obviously that doesn't matter anymore, so that'll be fine. Alright, so we've almost redone the entire first floor. Good stuff. I know this is boring. I know this isn't what anybody wants to see, but again, don't really care. No offense, but kinda got to stick to my guns here, you know? Got to do what I can to get all this work done, because it's gotta get done. And, you know, is what it is, right? Alright. So, this one's weird because we had originally set this up so we could have like that kind of balcony setup again, but I think we're gonna abandon the idea of like the balcony setup that we have, like what we have for the wood. This will require some shifting around, um, because I don't necessarily like being able to. I don't like that middle bit. It's gonna make things weirder. Um, so we'll probably end up redoing quite a lot of things, but it will be worth it in the end. And that goes for the colored stuff here that's here, right? So I think these are a good four, and then obviously for our fifth one, we will have to redo some stuff. But for the most part, we can take a look at something like this and take a good picture and get that pulled up to our side. Okay, all right. So stack of cobble, stack of barrels. Actually, we'll get it for the other one. Stack of barrels, and that's all we can grab for now. But we will be able to do a lot with that. All right. We don't. There. Purple dye. Cyan and then light blue. Yeah, that's it. Brown, red, orange, yellow goes there. There. Now carpet's where things get a little funky, unfortunately. That would have been on another area. Or that would have been where that cobblestone is now, so we will have to get that split up. And luckily, since we have wool slabs and stairs, it should go wool, carpet, wool slabs, wool stairs, that kind of deal. So we actually shouldn't struggle too hard with any of that. Back here, yeah, here we go. Come on now. There we go. Okay. We're gonna do wool. I have caps lock on. We have wool. And then I think we'll do carpet. Wool slabs. Stairs. Okay. And then we'll pop that idiot away. Yeah. And then we'll need to switch this cobblestone out at some point, but not going to sweat that for right Yep, need more barrels. Okie doke. Okay, I see how this is gonna go. Yep. Oh man, this is gonna be annoying. Third one here that we want. There we go. There. Regular old black wool. It's another thing we got that I didn't realize. The minute carpet's supposed to go up a line anyways. That goes there. Boom. Cool. Alright. That's another good side done. And then it's white, light gray, and then regular gray. Okay, let's do this first, and then we'll get to that in a little bit. Get some more cobble. I need that cobblestone. White. There we go. Okay. Right where this crafting table is. Okay, cool. That gets us something a little bit nicer. Then we need to head on up with some more cobble. And we need to get more cobble as well. Used a couple stacks. And go get all this switched out. Maybe carpet, wool, carpet. Got some more white wood, some gray wool. Alright, and then that'll help kind of get things started here. And let's hit F3 and B just to see if we're missing anything. I don't think we are. Oh, a little bit. Goes to chest though. All right, we are getting there. You feel like we are getting there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get a picture of everything here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get ready to do all this again. Go. Sensor, shrieker, chorus flower, chorus fruit, echo shard, catalyst, purple stuff, stealth, purple stairs, purple blocks, sensor, shrieker, fruit, echo shard, white carpet for some reason. Get to that in a moment. Oh man, a lot of sorting we gotta get done. It's gonna all be worth it though. Purple stairs, already got the pillar, bulk itself. Price nothing on. That's weird. You would have think out of anything I would have had Endstone, but I suppose not. Unless it's in a separate box downstairs. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing one shulker box that had some Endstone downstairs, but weird. Okay, well, anyways, so put this carpet away. Alright, yet another good section done. Yeah, we should have enough barrels for all that stuff in cobblestone, so we'll just go ahead and get this little extra bit done, because we can. I'm deliberately avoiding doing some things right now, being, putting in this floor, um, until we get some concrete or wool of some appropriate colors, right? Oh shoot, too far. Step too far. Hold on. Whoops. Sorry, brain went on autopilot. Give me 1 second to fix this. Boom, boom, boom. White wool, white carpet. Okay, anyways, like I was saying, right? Deliberately avoiding doing some of these things with like the subfloors, just because it would make life a little bit easier if I didn't have to think about them while also trying to build all this, right? But then also, since we can't see to the bottom, since all these are color dependent, we're gonna need each type of colored glass to kind of go through. So that way we can physically see what color is below and all that to help line up the pattern with where those cobblestone blocks are. And then we kind of just, figure it out from there, right? So, be some good stuff. Or if we don't use glass, we need to at least use wool or concrete. It's one of those two that we're gonna have to use. I would probably say concrete. It's a nice solid color. It's not gonna be flammable like wool. Although, frankly, I don't know what fire hazard I would have that would be like, yeah, I have to use concrete instead of wool. But sure, why not? Let's not think too hard about it. Let's just get all that stuff in place. Yeah, get all that figured out. That's nice. There we go. Okay, that's what we want. Good. Good, good, good. Huh. Don't know if we're gonna find that barrel. Doesn't matter. Got plenty of barrels, so. Yep, you obviously got to. Oh, there it is. You gotta keep carving everything out. But, yeah, we're doing pretty well. Yeah. Glass, dyes, and shulker boxes. All wool. And then the annoying thing. Actually, no, it's perfect now. Because then we can have concrete section that'll be concrete powder, right? Concrete slabs, concrete stairs, now that those are in the game, which makes life a lot easier. So then the very top stuff can be terracotta. Because I'm not very likely to use terracotta, if I can be completely honest here. So it's just kind of whatever for me. But let's see, let's do powder. Re what do we do normally? We do slabs and stairs, right? Yes, okay. Whoops. Concrete, didn't matter. Okay, concrete slabs and concrete stairs. Perfect. Okay. And we're basically just gonna take down this whole thing in chest for right this second. And we'll go pick up some more cobblestone. Go do that anyways. And we're gonna clean up some of these extra crafting tables a bit too. I think I'm overdue for that, honestly. We will integrate them more properly into all this stuff, but I don't really want to think too hard about it. But right now, I just know I want them gone, right? So let's just keep it simple. Get all that going. Okie doke. Let's see. Cobblestone. Yes, right. We do need that. And we need more barrels too, and we gotta put away these excess chests. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and get all this stuff done up here. to go around and pick up all the chests too. But, you know, we're working our way towards that, so nothing to worry about. We're filling up on inventory here with all these chests, but again, not an issue. We will get all these dumped away shortly. And actually, it wasn't so bad that we did all that stuff with those barrels, right? Because we can actually extend our storage all the way up to the tippy top, kind of like what I wanted to do. So it still has some good use. It's not really too big of an issue. All right. Have finally gotten all of these knocked out, just in the nick of time. We just ran out of inventory space. Let's go ahead and run some of these into here. Here we go. Alright. And we'll go ahead and grab everything we can off the floor. Of course, having hitboxes on does make the game a little bit slower, because there's a lot of lines it's got to try and draw now, but that's fine. We'll be okay. And, you know, there's a couple of chests in weird spots. We don't really care that much. You know? Let's see here. Okay. Probably use cushion elevators instead of scaffolding, you know, that would be interesting. We'll have to wait and see on that. These cushions aren't exactly in the game yet for me to do any kind of funny business, but that's okay. They'll be here soon enough. Probably within the month. Well, not within August. I think they'll definitely be here within September. That one seems like a pretty safe bet. But it'll be a while before I can actually mess around with them, so that's okay. Alright, let's see here. It's weird how it flipped like that. And again, is it just realize that I place at a certain orientation, or like what's up with that? That time it didn't. How? Why and how would I do that? Come on now. I know this isn't the most efficient way to be doing this, but again, there's, I don't know, it's not worth being super efficient on everything after a certain point. Even if it would objectively make life a little bit easier, there's some amount of joy in not having to do things perfectly, you know? Once you try to get too perfect, then you kind of lose that bit of humanity, and it makes things very depressing, you know? Even with something like this, where yes, it would objectively be better, but I don't have to care too much because it's still going to get done pretty quickly either way. Like what I would have saved 30 seconds by not having to do it like this, right? So, not like a whole bunch of time. But not nothing, but not anything that truly matters. So, annoyingly, lighting is going to be stupid as hell as per usual. with these kinds of things. So yeah, we're gonna just slap some lighting up here for right now, just to have something. Alright, let's just keep it simple with that. And then we've got one more layer up there we get to go do. And then, yeah, stuff. Guess we could do a little bit of this. Does really make it easier for what it's worth, but don't want to do it on everything. Light level we at? 5 is fine, honestly. And it only gets brighter, so okay. Not ideal because it doesn't look the greatest, but we're not going to worry about that for the time being. See if we can slip on in there. There we go. And we have 53 barrels left, so it should be enough to complete this whole thing. That's even accounting for lossage, but that's okay. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and last one for this little section. Here we go. Alright, technically we can expand this up a lot more, but we're not going to do that quite yet, because we ain't gotta. And we know that this will be terracotta and like weirder things as well, so still holding out hope for like terracotta slabs and stairs. I don't know if or when they would happen, but considering they did concrete slabs, they won't do terracotta this patch more likely than that, but it's the idea is there now. Now that they've done concrete, it is almost a guarantee in my mind that they will do terracotta at some point. So when that does happen, we will have the appropriate section for it, and it will be good. So, yep, we'll see what happens. That stuff stays there. That's empty, 'cause that's how. Alright, let's dump some of these away. Okay. Again, nice little section fully completed. That fully completes that whole first floor, the whole way around, and then that whole quarter is done. So yeah, now we get to move on to another section. One of these is empty. Yeah, we'll leave. That was the empty one, but I thought there was another one. We'll leave that alone. Doesn't really matter what we do, right? We can just kind of go in order here. So I guess we should actually go get that empty one though for the chest, so that way we don't mix them with our torches, and it's already getting kind of full anyway, so makes enough sense. Come on now. Go. And so it begins once again. We're gonna go ahead and get another nice picture of that. Here we go. Okie doke. Cobblestone. Need some of that. That is also quite the issue. That one we should have started with. Late now. Okay. See, there's an absolute mess back here now because of that, but that's okay. We will get it fixed very soon. Okay, there we go. Spectral arrow. Blaze rod. Blaze powder. Arrow. Green. Spider eye. Flesh. Powder. Battle. This bottle. Which will be out of order until I give a shit to actually look through them, which I will not for a long time, so it is what it is. Shells. Green powder. Here. Alright, and this bottle is cool. I'll have to label those like in an anvil at some point, but we're not going to worry about that for now. Okay, bone. Wheel. What? Scaffolding. Leather. More bones. I think we picked up everything. At least as far as I can tell, everything looks like it was picked up from that area, so yeah, looks good. Alright, nice. Yep, looks good. Alrighty. Let's see, bone block. Yep, nice. Okay. And these things as shells. We can put this back for right now. I had it left out for some other work, but we're not gonna need to worry about that for a while, so. Alright, and then now this one's gonna be a lot more annoying. It's about packed to the brim here, so we're gonna break this up into sections. But, yeah, you know, we'll be fine. Okay, let's go ahead and take another picture here. There we go. It's been almost 2 hours. Wow. Okay, that is quite a lot of time to pass. There we go. That glowing sack. Firefly bush. Yep, the flower. Mushroom. There we go. Glowing sacks, right? Okay. Red, brown, dandelion, wildflower. There we go. Yep. Got a feeling I lost one down there. Tough. Well, dang. Alright, let's see here. So we got cactus there, honeycomb there, turtle egg, the rose, cactus, sun, peony, rose again, bees, seagrass, then we have that blank that's there, and rose bush. Okay, that's a good little section done. Go ahead and keep clearing out our inventory bit by bit. There we go. Red raw rabbit, cocoa beans, root seeds, steak, raw beef, that we are off by one here. Crap. Beetroot. That's beets. Red. Okay, that put us back on track. Good. Let's see here. Raw mutton. Melon seeds. Melon. Here we go. Let's actually do a little bit of shuffling around. Red. Apple. Beetroot. Beetroot seeds. Melon. Okay. And then that brings us up to where we want to be there on that section. And then we've got our last quarter here. All this stuff. There we go. Okay, so blueberries, wheat seeds, moss carpet, flowering azalea, moss block, which also includes pale moss. Oh, paper. There. We are almost done. I'd switch some things around a little bit here. Let's do carrot, potato, out, carrot, potato, sugarcane, paper, uh, seeds, wheat, hay bale. All right, there we go. We got yet another section done. Good, good. Nice. And then same deal, we would just go ahead and cut that whole section down and do the same thing up there. I think we'll go ahead and do, yeah, we'll go ahead and get that done. Should actually take a brief second to get some scaffolding and get some of this set up formally. All that stuff. There we go. Right now, we'll just have it go up to here. That one's not even close to done yet, neither is that one. Alright, well, we will put the rest of the scaffolding away and just kind of leave the box out. That way we know this is what we gotta do later. Yeah, it's fair. Okay, let's go ahead and barrels. Yep, there we go. More barrels. Say 1,040, huh? We're getting on up there. I don't think the cobblestone partitions will matter since the barrels are full blocks, so or at least like some of them won't. Like these ones won't, these ones will, but again, we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. But it will be nice to have all of this done and figured out. I think that's my goal for today is I really want to have this storage system fully redone with barrels. Maybe we'll even go trade for some item frames or something with the cartographers, but that's kind of my big thing right this second is I really want all this done, right? Just to make life a little bit easier, gives us more space to work with, and then this won't be like a looming thing overhead. We can just have a storage system that works, you know? That'll be nice. I'm gonna try and round up all these chests the best we can. Now we're almost full on a whole shoulder box of chests now, because we've been doing so many of them. It's neat. No. The hard part's gonna be the wood section because it's so freaking tall. That one's gonna be less cool, but you know, we'll get it figured out. Be a good time to kind of redo some stuff there too, anyway. So, I think all the bark blocks and stripped bark blocks should go together in a group of four because you have the six-sided bark, the stripped six-sided bark, um, and I guess regular logs and stripped logs would be the other half of that. So, I guess that was the way my brain was trying to phrase it, but. Yeah, you know, we'll get it all figured out. It'll be fine. And obviously, you've got your planks, your slabs, your stairs, your fences. Those can all go together. The only thing is fence gates, because they kind of throw things off a little weird, but not in like too bad of a way. Let's see. Go down, pick some of this up. There we go. We are officially full on chests, which is kind of insane. Oh, we never grabbed an empty box to act as an icon there. There we go. Well, it certainly feels like we've been able to keep it down pretty well. Especially too once we have this blocked off better, so that way we can't see like all of the chests and the item frames all at once. That's the other big thing why this kind of failed, because not only can you see through them, which causes more rendering, but you can also see basically all of the storage simultaneously, which causes just, you know, not good performance issues. So with that figured out though, we will be fine. Otherwise, we are doing good. Get some more torches while we're at it here, you know, we haven't loaded up on those in a hot minute. And this whole section is done otherwise, that's good. So we'll go ahead and do the redstone and valuable section now. Go ahead and grab everything. Leave that box there though, so that's not important anymore. Oh, and some of these are starting to fully oxidize finally. Well, dang. Right, there we go. I can stay there. Okay, let's go ahead and start with this side. Luckily, this shouldn't be nothing too bad. We do need to load up on barrels and cobblestone again, however. Let's do that. There we go. just do a little section at a time for right now. Go. Keto. Start. Do two at a time. Okay. Rock hopper. There. It goes there. Ingot. Copper. Copper ingot. Or there we go. I feel like there's a little bit of mismatch. We'll move some of this stuff around a little bit later, but I feel like that should go over a lot. There we go. Something like that. Alright, we are getting there. There we are. Okay. Yeah, we can do all five of these, I think. That would be So raw gold and then put gold. Not the right term, but hush. That should be good. And then obviously we got these up here. We're gonna have to do too bad. Oh, you know. Okay, there we go. Again, a couple of weird-ish missing things, but nothing to really worry or do anything about, honestly. Just kind of how it is, right? So, okay, got a nice section done again. Now we have to do the same for the redstone components. Close that out. And let's go ahead and take another picture. There we go. Alright. At some point we'll be able to place something down correctly. Maybe even this century, who knows? place an item frame there. Weird. All those picked up. Okie doke. Go. Alright. Almost done. Right. Ah, frick, man. It's getting annoying now. Doing a bunch of silly mistakes at this rate, you know? Should get everything out of the way at least. Damn it, got him flipped around. Shoot. I guess it doesn't particularly matter. Elevator. Wrapper's the triangular one, and the dispenser's a circular one. Wow. Real difficult to keep track of, I know, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright. We are getting there. We are getting there. Yes, we are. Alright. We have that whole section to do, and then obviously the whole wood section afterwards. But again, we're getting there. Slow and steady wins the race or something, so only got this little bit of redstone left to do. Go. Alright, heater, comparator, crafter, dust, box of dust, block, observers, port, hopper, got that, we got that. Okay, that's that whole redstone section done now, finally. Good there. And we'll take the barrels. Why not? Who cares? Now all we have to do is carve that whole thing out. Scaffolding. There it is. Let's just a step at a time here, you know. Get all these knocked down. Hit F3 and B. Oh, I think I did. There's a whole shoulder box of stuff. Well, only 3 items, but hey, it's still not nothing. Yes, there we go. At 2.5 hours. Last quarter up here. got another quarter done. Stuff. Now all we gotta do is the last quarter out over yonder, and then we will be good. We'll have everything fully done. And of course, we'll still have to get all of the item frames. I'm not gonna do that today. I thought I was, but nah, it's not gonna happen. Um, and you know, I guess we could actually keep building upwards as well too, so that way we can get all the way up to the ceiling, or at least close enough to it. Probably do another 2 layers or so, I would say, maybe 3. It's hard to judge distance from down here, but yeah, you know, we'll see what happens. But for now, let's just focus on one thing at a time. This is already all put in, which is good. That. All right. Just tuck all that away for right now. Yeah. Technically, we can just clear all these out pretty easily. Yeah. Making sure that lines up correctly to how it needs to be. Wait a minute. This is correct, right? Yes, this is on the correct level. Okay. I wasn't sure for a second there. I don't know why. But better safe than sorry to check with that kind of stuff, so pretty. So this is where things get kind of weird. We shouldn't worry so much about maintaining all of this order. Whoa, hang on. I need to get in for a little bit of a nicer picture. There we go. We don't want to worry so much about the exact order of things other than like the saplings, just because things are going to get kind of messed up here. So um, you'll see what I mean soon, I'm sure. But right now, let's just cut all this stuff down. Try to keep things simple. Starts to do all that stuff. Here we go. Okay. Whoops. Here we go. Something like that. Okay. Um, this is going to be very rough. I think the payload goes here. As the sapling does. Try and keep the logs kind of contained somewhere else for right this second. Definitely goes there. And then spruce. Birch, then jungle. Then acacia, dark oak, birch. Bitch, what am I doing here? You know? God, man. Bunch of logs. saplings. Other stuff that I don't particularly care about because it's all log based right now. Saplings. Saplings. Alright, let's go ahead and get some of these out. Rap, I really don't know what I want to do here. Hang on. Let's just go ahead and place all these down, just so that way we don't risk them despawning or anything silly like that. There. Okay, that gives us just some more time to breathe here for a little bit, which is just what we need. So, long story short, what we're now trying to figure out, right, is how the heck do we want to split this kind of stuff up in a way that actually makes sense? So, if we've already established, right, that we're going to have logs, planks, stairs, slabs together. Maybe not. I mean, we definitely want planks, stairs, slabs, fences together. That's kind of the big thing, honestly. But then if we do it by one, then we can do gates, fences, doors, trap doors together. Okay. Do the barks and all that stuff. I think we'll consolidate the bark, like six-sided bark blocks and the strip six-sided bark blocks together, and then we'll have a separate thing for like stripped logs. Probably, because I use stripped logs separately, and it's kind of a weird thing to have. And then we'll have the leaves be here as well, because that was another change I wanted to make, was I wanted the different leaf types to be in a single good spot, which is important to me, because it makes sense, right? I mean, you got your oak, you got your oak leaves. So, yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do it like that, then we can do wood, six-sided, and then stripped oak log. Stripped birch log. Those are the rest of the logs, so we're gonna hold on to those. Let's get this bamboo moved out of the way a little bit. Let's get this relocated into here. Bamboo is going out in this corner where I don't have to look at it. Then you got your logs, a lot of birch, and more bamboo. Move our logs into here. Six-sided spruce. Yeah, and then otherwise it's about as far as we get right this second without doing a whole bunch of bullshit. So, the rest of these are basically logs. So, yeah, you kind of get the idea there. And now with this is where we're going to go ahead and see We can make the magic happen on the next floor. Right at the brick fence. Oh, shoot. Let's not worry about that for right now. Let's just, get all these cut out. Get all that bundled up. Got that bundled up. No. We're almost there. One cut out. There, good. Right, we are low on barrels. Hang on. Gotta pop on down in here real quick. Find our barrel box. One of these. Also get rid of all that stuff too. And you know the deal. We're gonna go ahead and place all of these down. Just so that way they don't despawn. Okay. And let's keep going. Alright, and yeah, we'll do this side while we're at it too. This whole section won't have like anything in it at all, so we can afford to just take the whole thing down, basically. In fact, that's what I should stop and do real quick, is go clear out that entire thing of chests there, that whole block of them. Alright, there should be one of these boxes with some chests in it that I can, yes, here we go, put all that crap away. Nice. Quick. This lighting in place, there we go. Alright. Right, so now what we want to go ahead and do is want to get all of our logs that we had put somewhere. Here we go. That's spruce wood, but that's not a spruce log. Yeah. Keeping this order, I'm going to do spruce, oak, birch I don't have on me for some reason. Jungle, acacia, dark oak, bamboo would be next. We don't have that on hand right this second. Alright. I'll put that up. One more thing of logs. Here we go. Alright. So now, slowly but surely, we are going to go ahead and get all these in place. Yellow log. Have any cherry? Nope, but I do have birch. Dark oak, acacia, stem. should have some spare bamboo logs in one of these. There we go. We can go ahead and pick all those up. So, cherry, patch jungle, that's bamboo, and the rest of those are planks and slabs, which we will get to shortly. First, let's see. Okay. Well, our bamboo. Here's our oak, jungle, cherry. Alright, let's get all of our planks now. Get those. This kind of loops around back into stuff that we already have. Hey. I have oak planks. I thought I had oak planks. I do. Okay. Here, then birch. No. Okay. Acacia. Here. That's okay. Berry. Pale oak. Wart. And then this is where we are gonna go ahead and start pulling all this stuff out. Different slabs and whatnot. And the planks themselves. Stairs. No, I always forget the order for some reason. How do I do this normally? It's up a layer, isn't it? And it was down here anyways, I don't even need to go very far. I do stairs, then slabs, and then wall, but that's gonna be a little bit different. But yeah, stairs, then slabs is the main takeaway, right? So that's our order here, which makes enough sense. Now we can get another one. Oh, cherry, oak, dark oak, birch. We are getting closer. These are all fences and fence gates, so okay, good. No stairs. slabs are what we're gonna want. All of our stairs and slabs. Upstairs, slab, slab, birch slab, stairs, oak slab, bamboo slab, and pale oak slab. Okay, the rest of these are fences and fence gates, which is good. Alright. Bamboo slabs. Perfect. Okay. Brick fence. No, no, no. Those. Hmm. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, cut all of these out. There we go. Alright, and we're just gonna go ahead and grab a couple of logs here of each of the different types. I think you can already see what the pattern's gonna be here. Not too hard. The reason that this is good to do is this is going to help us figure out between floors what each of the different wood types need to be in case I end up forgetting or I tear down too much. So it's good to have it, you know? It's functionally nice too. People agree that I don't have any crimson wood. Unusual. Mangrove wood makes sense though, that shit sucks, but I should probably get some one of these days. Whoops, wrong word. Obviously, we'll have poplar wood next when it's time. go. Have more space for just whatever ends up being here at some point, but don't got to worry about that for right now. We are getting closer here. We need more barrels of cobblestone, so let's go ahead and load up on that crap again. Let's see here. And we'll just, throw those in there. And don't really. We'll be doing some extra cleaning soon enough, I'm sure. So, yeah. And I can get rid of that picture for now, I guess. It's also been over 3 hours. How cool. Do these little sections at a time, so... Great. Yep, this is the correct spot. Alright, and then let's see here. I think we want some of our fence gates and all that crap. Alright, I think how we want this is we want fences first, then gates. Sounds about right, I guess. Buildings and stuff that we don't particularly care about. Let's go get those boxes that are down there. we got our trap doors and whatnot. So we'll have to do something with them. Alright, we are almost there finally. Doing very well for ourselves here. Here, oak fence, spruce fence gate. We don't have at all. Fence, dark oak fence gate. Then, of course, shelves exist too, but we're not going to worry about those for the time being. They're kind of weird. Next up is going to be doors and trap doors. Let's actually run down and go get those shulker boxes. Just to keep things simple here. Go. Damn. Y'all can spawn in here? That's annoying. Alright, well, we will have to do something about that. Okay, if I could hit anything ever. I fucking hate phantoms. I know everybody does, but stupid ass birds. Get out of here. Oh, that's annoying. Anyways, I'm just surprised I could spawn in here, all things considered. Alright, let's hit F3 and B, check our hitboxes again. I think we're doing okay. Nothing seems to have dropped, that's good. Get all this put into place. Do you have any more scaffolding? Probably not. Well, we'll just leave it. that there. When that gets all four corners done, it's just there's not enough to fully do everything here, but that does get kind of close. We'll do door, and we'll do trap door. Annoying ones are going to be the sign-related ones, unfortunately. And I guess the shelves, too. So it kind of requires us to have like an additional whole section of stuff, which we can do. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just going to be more time. Trapdoors are what we are looking for, and regular doors. Those are all the signs and all that good stuff. Let's see here. Oak door. Trapdoor. Trapdoor. On that verge for some reason. Weird. Dark oak. And then warp. What, Shadow? Oh, go lay down, miss. Yes. Go lay down, girl. Alright. Got basically everything put away, which is quite nice. We got to put all that away, put that together. That put away too. Right, we'll go ahead and clean up all this lighting too a little bit, just to make sure that everything is where it ought to be. There we go. I mean, otherwise, yeah, we did it. We got everything all put up, and we can put in another thing of 4, why not? Alright, we need more barrels. There we go. Cool. Good stuff. that gets us all of that. Then off of this, we can do, that's going to be a little weird, but I think we'll be able to do it. So we want stuff for signs, hanging signs, and shelves, I think are the main ones. So, yeah, I mean, there's not too much to it. Alright, these put away in there. We got spruce, so we're gonna do signs, hanging signs, shelves, shelf, oak hanging sign, oak sign, and spruce sign. And there we go. Nice. Good stuff. Then we just need to get each of the different log types again. Sure. Dark oak. Now, about to get crimson stem at some point, but that'll be fine. And we'll just keep it simple with those for right now. We'll come back to the other two in a moment. But for now, let's place down what we have. Oak, spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, bamboo, missing, warped, missing, and then the other two. Come on now. There we go. There's cherry, and there's pale oak. Cherry, pale oak. Alright, cool. Pale oak, cherry, good. Stretch that after there. And there we go. Alright. So, with something like that done, we just need more item frames to fully complete the entire thing. And we really just need to build up another set of layers on all the different sides. I have everything matched, but we're not going to worry about that for right now. But otherwise, that does seem like it has helped out a lot, for what it's worth. I think I'm going to leave it there for right now. Next time we will finish putting up all this stuff, and basically we're going to probably go up an extra layer on top of this even. Now, because then I want this to be like solid enough for like one big like room. So yeah, that'll be like the sub ceiling, then we have the split, and then we have the actual floor and then that'll give us enough to fill in the rest of this stuff. So yeah, we'll build up one more layer around each side. We'll then start figuring out how to fill in all of the different flooring options, get the extra scaffolding in place, all that kind of good stuff. But then we'll have to get the item frames too, which will take a while because we need a lot of item frames. But, we'll get it when we get it. Not gonna worry too much about it. But overall, pretty good, I would say. We got a lot done in 3.5 hours. A lot of storage stuff. We still did not get glass for this thing. We'll get it one day. It's not really too big of a deal, but, we will eventually get that all switched out. And naturally, I cannot sleep in my bed, so we will be dealing with phantoms again in the near future. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again soon. Bye bye.